Hey, what's up, guys? It is the Cypher Slacker, and it is time for another episode of Let's Build. So, with this series, I am going through kind of different decks that I either play or haven't played in the past, and I'm making them kind of as we go here. I'm going to profile them, and then at the very end, um, I may do some test hands, but there will be combo videos that associate with the videos. However, they will be separate in order to, save you time as the viewer. So we are looking at Utopia. So I am going to build this kind of from a more competitive perspective. I have been getting a little bit more and more into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. Um, so we're going to look at this kind of more on the lines of competitive, but still, I want my deck profiles to kind of have that trueness that a lot of my deck profiles have. Like it's kind of like my thing, you know what I mean? So the extra deck is going to be completely pure. Um, Honestly, because I feel like there's not a lot of actually I don't think I run the card. There's not a lot of things in the extra deck. I mean, yeah, there's different toolboxes that you can use, but for this specific deck, I feel like they have a lot of those tools. The only thing we're really missing here is a spell on trap negate in the extra deck, which I mean you could play number 38 if you want to. Um, I'm trying to stick, to a pure, Utopia, Utopic, things that Yuma played, um, while boosting it with hand traps and stuff. So you can play 38 if you so choose to. I'm not a big fan of, like I said, of like kind of going out of that. And since we don't, I'm gonna build this for the cards that we currently have. So we don't have Onamata Kage at current time. So I'm not gonna be placing him in there. I'm gonna put two Onamata pickup in for now. We may play three. Um, the Go 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 Goblin Bird is the best normal summon in the deck. So you max out at that. Let me search real quick. You max out at that. I typically like to put my starters up front. Max out at that. I say two of these. You don't really need three of the coat. Um, One or none of Onomot. You don't really. He's not like 100% needed. You can play the Gigas if you choose to. I'm gonna put that down here. That's kind of like an optional. Um, I did kind of mess around with Go 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 Golem Golden form, but I mean it's doing what Utopia Ray is doing, so it just kind of like conflicts. Well, not conflicts, but like it's kind of redundant. It's like doing the same thing. It's just like really not, in my opinion, it's just like not super worth it. Dodo Warrior, absolute three of. He's a total Chad. You need three of him, and you need three of Goblinberg. Um, you can argue that since we're playing three of him, three of him, three of him, two of him, instead of playing the second Onamana pickup, you could play Rhoda as just a different name. I guess in case one gets ashed. But you know, it's totally like player preference. We got to look at the new Gaga Ga Gambara Knight. I just really messed that up. Gaga Ga Gambara Knight. One or two. I'm gonna put one in here for now. I don't think we really need the second one. And that goes the same thing for the Zubaba Knight. You don't really need more than one of this guy and one of this guy, just because these are such good starters that they're eventually you're gonna be able to reach them, as long as you don't get trolled. But you know, we're gonna play a couple different things that stop us from getting trolled, which is hella important. So looking at the engine here, is there anything we're missing? We're missing the double or nothing. Um, this is something that I think is, in a way, is essentially cuttable. It does help you OTK. It helps you. It's a really good OTK enabler. I mean, if you even want to play this in the side deck, I think that you actually could, because you would just summon Dragnar and then summon him and then make the new Utopic. So at least for what I'm doing, and this is, I mean, it's all player preference. Like if you want to play the deck differently, and have a different end goal, That's all to you. You know what I mean? It's kind of what's nice about this deck is kind of however you want to play it, you're able to because there's so many unique tools in this deck that allow you to just kind of, like I said, besides the spell and trap negate, like this guy summons out one of your boss monsters. This guy is for battle phase. This guy is a negate. He's actually a double negate. This guy is OTK machine. This guy is recovery. This guy is recovery, but not a Utopia. Um, I do like two of these, and again, if you want to play Zeus, have at it. If you want to play, I think Eclipse Twins. If you want to play these cards, you know what I mean. You can. Um, I have not really had any issue, not having them in the extra deck. I feel like they kind of. I really didn't summon Zeus because I mean, we have Utopia double, or you have Utopia double, and then you have double or nothing for just sheer OTKing. I haven't had a problem clearing my opponent's board because I feel like when I play this deck, my opponent doesn't really get to make a board. So having said that, here I'm going to look and make sure we have all our engine pieces. 3 3 go 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 1 1 2 2. These guys up. And because we're not playing this at current moment, I may. No, I don't want to play Astraltopia. I may just play a second Gaga Knight. I was playing Astraltopia to search the other counter trap, um, which is this. No, not Protection of the Elements. Yeah, I really went to type in Protection of the Elements. That's fine. I believe it's numbers. Protection. Yeah. So it's not that I don't like this card. The fact that it's not searchable by Gaga Girl kind of hurts it. Which, if you want to, you could play the Math Mech that searches the Astral that gets you into that. But in the end of the day, you're going to be setting up a 3 to 4 monster negate board with this as an Omni negate, and then you're going to have hand traps. So, it kind of, it's a little bit of like redundancy to have them both. But we got to add in our things that stop hand traps because we want to be able to actually play the game and not just get sacked. So we're going to play one of each of the crew, and then we are on a full Los 100%. Ash, Ash Blossom at 3 to stop my opponent's full Los. Droll, because if we get drolled, it's not fun. And then you pretty much, I mean, you have your option here. I was considering Nib, but the only reason that I'm really not playing Nib is I feel like it doesn't really hurt us that much. So, like, if we get nibbed, it might be like a minor inconvenience, but like, it doesn't kill us. So, having said that, um, I'm gonna test kind of without it, and then kind of see how that goes. So we got our where's Fulos? I don't know why I like to separate the hand traps and the actual monsters because like even though they're technically monsters, I feel like they're just not. I typically like to put the one of separate. I like my starters up front because that just makes sense. You know what I mean? You like to know your starters. And honestly, Gaga Gambler Knight is not a bad starter because you have the Goblinberg. He goes directly into the Goblinberg and he doesn't eat up your normal summon. So him at 2 might actually not be, terrible. But just looking at this, I think this looks pretty solid. As a deck. We've got hand trap coverage. We've got our 1-card combos covered. We've got hand trap reaction, and we've got engine. So let's go ahead and let's do a couple 5-card test hands, see what we're dealing with here. So we saw our 1-card combo with cross out, so that means if they try to draw us or ash us. And the beauty of this deck is it lives through a lot of hand traps. So what I would actually do is I would start with this and send the 1 Gaga, bait the ash, okay, and then once the ash gets baited, save that for the droll, save that for the imperm, whatever. Next hand. This one would dot a droll. However, we have 2 ash baits, and then we have literally full combo in our hand. So let's see here. Not bad, not bad. We have combo, and then if we get stopped, we have droll to stop our opponent, and then we have Veiler. Again, like, and every hand you guys are probably seeing here that we are drawing, we are seeing our 1-card combo. So far, we have not missed. We are seeing our 1-card combo in literally every hand so far. That would be a really good go second hand. This is the first one that we didn't see it, but we have Ash and Veiler, so you could just theoretically pass. We drew 2 1-ofs. Actually, no, we drew 3 1-ofs. Ito Pro, man, for the win. Another good hand. We got our 1-card combo. We got our called by for the Ash or the Droll. Again, excellent. Excellent. I mean, these hands here are pretty fire. So, guys, I hope you like the build. This is literally, this is a series I'm going to be doing. Hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, drop a comment below. Give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to. I think I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through a lot of decks and just build them while I'm here, and then put out some combo tutorials. So we are actually going to go ahead and call it for this video because we are at roughly, I think, 11 minutes. So guys, Slifer Slacker out.